So first of all, to start, I'm gonna just share a song with you that from where I come, we call with this song the qualities, the essence of the directions to come to the space, to come to the moment, to come to the, so just to make it a little bit more open, what about we do some brainstorming? When we think about the east, the direction when the sun rises, what cluster of qualities, of spirits, of gifts you think are positioned there in the gift? Just jump in and say what you think comes from the east. Rebirth, yeah, you can write on the chat or just open your mic and jump in. Brainstorming, don't be shy. The sun, the wisdom, the light, the rebirth, the new beginning, the fire, exactly. Very good, Henna, pretty obvious. And that's the good teachings are when they are very obvious. And the opposite, from the West, what gift comes from the West? Sunset, shadow, exactly. A rest, very good, Joanne. And shadow, what's the gift of the shadow? A rainbow, eagle, song like East. Oh, thank you, Lee. Those are qualities of the East. And for the West, what do you think is the medicine of shadow, of darkness, of when I'll give you another example that is right there in front of our nose. In agriculture, in the soil, when the soil is very black, what does it mean? It sounds fertile, exactly, fertile. And when the soil is very black, it means it's rich in nutrients, yes, Luvian, and it means that there's a lot of decomposing there, there's a lot of transformation, there's a lot of alchemy. In Arabic, the word alchemy, because it comes from Arabic, this word, is the same word to mean fertile soil. Alchemy is where things get transformed. So that's the gift of the West, is all this transformation, all this healing, all this, and of course, pain, which is the subject of today, is in the West. We go into the cave, we go into the darkness, we go into the dragon's belly, we go like into the initiation and transformational painful processes. We get broken down to be put together again. And just to finish the exercise, what about South? What do you think? Oh no, let's do it this more easy for you. Let's start with the North. Think about that the North represents also winter, white, color white, when everything is more. So what do you think comes gifts from the North? The North Star, cleansing. What happened when in a life cycle of a person, because all these teachings are reflected everywhere like fractals in our bodies, but also, for example, in this case, I'm going to use an example from our life. We have the 4 seasons, right? And we also have the 4 seasons in our life. So we start with spring. We are like spring, growing up, like happy children coming into life. Then after spring comes the summer, which is the intensity of when we are young. We have so much intensity and so much passion, and wow, there's a lot of heat happening there. And then comes maturity, when there a certain adulthood is reached. And then comes the winter of our lives. And just, you know, the almighty and very wise beauty of existence made it so easy for us to get these things, because then actually winter also comes to our hair and to our face. You can see in my hair, in my little beard, winter is already starting to come. So if winter is north, what is the gifts of elderhood? What comes with elderhood? Wisdom, exactly. A lot of wisdom, a lot of rest, a lot of transcendence. That's what is the color white is. We're getting ready to transcend. And of course, the South. We talk a little bit about the South. This strength, this life, the blood, the passion, sexuality, colors, hummingbirds. Okay, so I'm gonna just very briefly sing a song for the 4 directions. I'm traveling now. I'm in Jaipur in India, and so I don't have a drum. These songs usually are sung with a big drum, but I hope we can get the flavor. And yeah, I'm gonna let you know each direction we're calling, and in that way you can take a few breaths, breathing in that medicine of each direction. So I'm gonna start calling up the East. We obiam patakia heituayo, etum kashila heitua, eotiero ahe. Chekiayo, aheitua, eotiero ahe. Now we're gonna breathe in the gifts of the South. We toka gata takia heituayo, etum kashila ahedua, eonkielo ahe. Chekiayo, ahedua, now the West. We opeata takia heituayo, letum kashila ahedua, eonkielo ahe. Chekiayo, Chekiayo, ahedua, eonkielo ahe. Now the North. We saia takia heituayo, etum kashila ahedua, eonkielo ahe. Chekiayo, Chekiayo, ahedua, eonkielo ahe. And there's always the 5th element, the 5th direction, which I'm not going to sing through, just to keep us moving through the agenda, which is in this case, is the vertical direction. We have the 4 directions, the 4 gifts, the 4 corners, the 4 elements, and then we have the vertical, which is the sky, which brings its own medicine. The sky, the sun, the stars, the light, the feather ones. And also we have the underworld, down, the inner, the unconscious, the hidden, the secret. And then we have the center, which is the heart, the center of the altar, the center of the universe, the center of the galaxy, the center. Everything has a center. The cell has a nucleus, the atoms has a nucleus, the solar system has a nucleus. We always need this center. Okay, to wrap it up around the elements, I'm gonna teach you now a very simple breathing practice with the elements, which was introduced to the world by a Sufi teacher from India. Very special man. He already passed away. His name was or is Hazrati Inayat Khan. His resting place is in Delhi. And a little bit more than 100 years ago, something very beautiful happened. And he was a Sufi from India, from the Chishtiye Sufis. And his teacher told him, more than 100 years ago, his teacher told him, young Inayat, it's time for this message of love, peace, and harmony to go and reach the West. And you are the chosen one. You have to bring this message to the West. So it was the first time that the Sufi message came to the West, but it was not just any Sufi message. It was the type of Sufi message that was incubated in India when Sufism came from the Middle East to India. It got enriched, it got transformed, it got sweetened by all the energies that and the traditions that are present in India. Sufism start to have dialogues with Buddhism, with Hinduism, with Jain. So it got very, very, very much sweetened and enriched. And it was this type of Sufism that was chosen to bring to the West more than 100 years ago. When this message landed in the West, it was not easy. People were not really prepared to all this news understanding. So it took a while to mature like the wine. It took a while to be ready to be, but it was from this same message, from this same inspiration, from this same connection from teacher to student that the dances of peace were produced, which is a practice that celebrates the planetary consciousness, the universal spirituality of humanity. And this practice now is coming to the East again. So it's like a cycle. It's like a snake biting its own tail. It's the same message going around the planet and being enriched by the stations, but it's the same arrow. So this teacher, Hazrat Inayat Khan, brought this very simple practice with the elements that I'm gonna lead you now into the practice of the breathing. So please close your eyes and we're gonna start doing the breath of the element earth. When I say element earth, I don't mean Mother Earth. I don't mean planet Earth, because Mother Earth is all the elements combined into the miracle we call life. When I say earth, I mean the solidity, the rocks in our body represents the bones. And the breathing of the earth is normal breathing in and out the nose. Then other elements will change the breathing. So for the moment, just start to breathe slower and longer. And every time you're breathing in, it's like you're drinking the medicine of solidity, of stability. You are bringing in the stability of a mountain, the solidity of a mountain. And when you're breathing out, you're giving that blessing of the element earth back to the world. You are sharing that stability with others. You become the mountain. You become that source of reliability to others. Purify your earth elements inside your bones, your flesh, your physical body. In our personality, the earth element represents that aspect in us which has certainty, which is stable. Now we move to the water element, and we breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. So it's like putting ourselves in a waterfall, getting cleansed and rinsed in a waterfall. Every time we exhale, we allow this water to wash us, purify us, clean us. Receiving this water from the sky. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Long and deep. Drink from this medicine of transparency, adaptability, joy, celebration, connection, interconnection, life. In our body, of course, is the blood in our personalities is the way we navigate with emotions. Now we're going to connect with the fire. And if you brought a candle, maybe it's good to take a couple of breaths looking at your candle so you get to feel that medicine of the fire. For this breath, we breathe in through the mouth and out through the nose. In through the mouth and breathing out through the nose. And fire represents courage, strength, power, capacity. Is we imagine ourselves like hugging a gigantic sun of light, of heat, giving a big hug to a big sun, Father, Son. Breathing in through the mouth, out through the nose, make it nice and long. Drinking in the qualities of fire. In our bodies is in the liver where the transformation, some many things get burned also. In our personalities is our passion, our courage. And when is out of balance is the source of anger also, that fire. When fire is out of balance, it burns, it damages, too much energy. So we purify the fire in us, that aspect. Inhaling through the mouth, feeling that fire grow inside of us and radiating out through our heart when we exhale through the nose, radiating that fire transform into pure light. And we move now to the air element. which is inhaling and exhaling through the mouth. And is connected to our mind. It's connected to spaciousness, emptiness. And we finish with just a few breaths at the same time, nose and mouth together, inhaling and exhaling together, for the element of ether. Which represents the luminosity in space, which represents spirit, which represents divinity, which is everywhere. It's the fifth element that makes all the other four elements work together. It's the glue of the four elements. It's the spirit behind the four elements. It's the soul. Thank you for your concentration. This is a very short call, so I'm gonna keep pushing the accelerator forward so we can cover the things we want to cover. And I'm gonna invite you now into a taste of what we do when we come together to practice the dances of universal peace. We bring together a sacred phrase with meaning. We bring together singing. We bring together movement of the body and community. We hold hands in circle. So I'm going to use words again from Native American tradition, because we have in the dances of peace also practices and songs and mantras, lots from Asia, from Europe, from Africa, but because I come from Latin America, I thought you might enjoy better if I bring indigenous songs instead of Buddhist songs. So this next song, we're all gonna learn the words. It's Aneya Ibi Wahana. I'm gonna write it in the chat right now. Aneya Ibi Wahana. Yeah. Learn the word, feel the word, because now we're gonna sing it together. Unfortunately, we cannot open all the mics because it starts to sound very weird. So you will have just to sing with me, but when we're all singing together, it's very beautiful when we're holding hands in a circle. But we're gonna sing it and allow the words to start working in us. These words come from the north part of America, where an indigenous nation was totally displaced from their territory, and they had to take like a 3 months journey to be relocated where the USA government was relocated them. And they were moved from a beautiful paradise with rivers and evergreen lands and forests and good hunting and fertile soils into desert. And it took them 3 or more months to move, to walk from that place to the other, secured by the army. And in that walk, many people died, many children died, many women died. And this song was the song of them grieving through that pain after their relocation, acknowledging that pain. So this song means, here we are together in mourning, in grief, in acknowledging and feeling our pain, allowing us to feel the pain. Aneya Ibi Wahana. So I'm going to start singing. And when you feel that you can start singing in your own home, just sing along with me. And we're going to do some repetitions. And we're going to use this movement of the heart, because we're not going to with the full body. Otherwise, it becomes complicated for me with the altar. But if you want to, at some point, if you want to stand up in your own house, you can stand up. I'm not going to stand up, because then you stop seeing me and listening to me. But with the hands, we're just going to have the hands open to the sky and have the hands into the heart, and then have the hands releasing towards the earth with the palms down, kind of also letting the pain flow, not getting stuck. Remember, emotions are of the realm of water. And remember what happens to water when it stops circulating. It starts to smell bad. Water always has to flow. So allowing the pain to move through, to come into our heart, but also go back to the earth, because she, as the big womb, the big belly, the big mother of all of us, she will take that pain also. She will take that pain because she's our mama. The Mother Earth is the most solid representation we have of the great goddess, the Mother Universe, our mother, the mother of all, present in all traditions, Tara, Kuan Yin, Virgin Mary, you name it, it's always there. So the most physical manifestation of cosmic mother is Mother Earth. So I'm going to start singing and moving the hands, and then you can at some point join. Aneya Ibi Wahana, 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 Aneya Ibi Wahana. We're going to take a little break now from the practice to tune deeper into this process of feeling the pain. I don't think I'm not going to say anything new for any of you, but let us just remember that the same antenna that feel the pain is the same antenna that can feel the joy and feel happiness and feel hope and feel is the same instrument. So if we get numb to the pain, if we turn off, if we put down the volume of our heart, we're also putting down the volume on joy, happiness, true celebration, true joy, the joy that really comes from deep inside, as deep as the pain. If we allow this pain to really feel it really inside in our marrow, in the bones, like deep down in our guts, then we can also experience a joy that comes from deep down in our guts, like tremendous joy, not this type of superficial happiness that we experience with society, this like momentary excitement, entertainment, yeah, and everybody claps in the stadium. But other type of joy, a joy that comes from the bones. So it's the same organ, it's the same instrument. And also, Jesus gave a beautiful teaching around, he said, blessed are those who are in pain because they will be united inside by love. Because ultimately, the distance between love and pain is very short, very short. If you have fall in love in your life, you know this. You have experienced this, how love always has some pain, and pain always has some love. It's like they are together. And again, remember that the most amazing teachings are the teachings that are right there, evident for us. They are put right there in front of our eyes. Most painful and joyful moment that the mothers have experienced is when they're giving birth. Full pain, like physical pain, not only emotional pain, like physical pain of the bones on your hips really cracking apart. Terrible pain. And at the same time, so much joy, so much happiness. It's like those tears are tears of joy and pain at the same time. It's love. It's so much love happening in that moment where the new baby is coming right out, but it comes together with the pain. Right there's the teaching. Right there's the example for all of us. So the New Age spirituality, New Age philosophies, they are proposing us that we can be happy without pain. They are saying, no, just create your own reality, focus on the positive, stay positive, just stay with the beauty, with nice things, and you can manifest your life as you want. It's very individualistic, because how can I be really, really happy if my neighbor is suffering? Then you have to shut your heart, because your heart by nature is compassionate. Your heart by nature cares about the other. Our hearts by nature, they care. We have caring hearts. So these promises of the New Age of create your own happy island are not based on deep compassion. Yeah. So the third thing I'm going to say about pain, and we go back to the practice, is there's so many layers of pain now in the world. So many layers that wow, it gets overwhelming. But the solution is not to turn off the instrument, but the solution is to move, to name, to bring it to the surface. But recently, we are learning through different psychology studies and different models of understanding that pain and trauma are also collective. So in our countries, there's collective traumas that come from war or from colonialism or from invasion. And that's a layer that we all share. Just because I was born in Colombia, I have that layer of trauma with all my fellow Colombians, because we have experienced 60 years of war. Right now, we're just in the peace process. It's going to take probably at least one generation to make peace. But there's also, for example, the collective trauma of the women and patriarchal abuse. And those traumas are moving right there. It's happening in Iran right now. I don't know if you saw the news, but the women are really fighting now in Iran against the oppression. But there's the trauma of poverty. There's the trauma of exploitation of rich countries over poor countries. There's the trauma. There's layers and layers and layers. And of course, there's the trauma that many of us put into the space in the circle when we did the introduction, which is the trauma, the pain, the overwhelming feeling that we're destroying our house, that we're destroying our home, that we are basically committing suicide. And that's very painful, to know that we are committing suicide. Wow. Wow. It's very painful, very hard. But it has to be acknowledged. It has to be known. People have to know about this. People have to be given the opportunity to express it in words, to feel it in their bodies. Because that energy that is stored, stuck in trauma and in pain, when it starts to move, it can become action. It can become compassionate action. It can become skillful action, repair action, transformational action. So that was enough theory. Let us now practice a little bit more with the song, with the experiencing of the pain, with letting this pain flow, just for another couple of minutes, and just allow the pain to flow, move it. Allow yourself to feel the different layers. Each one of us can connect with specific layers of that pain. Go from the individual, inner, private, existential pain of being alive in a world that we don't understand, of being separate from the source, that thirst that our individual soul experiences, that thirst, that yearning of searching for the truth. That's also a little bit of pain in there. Go from the very personal, intimate to the more bigger layers until you reach the big layers of collective trauma. Aneya ibiwahana, 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 aneya ibiwahana. Just a few breaths. To give thanks, because no matter how much difficulties, how much pain, how much terrible things, no matter, we're all gonna go extinct, no matter how big the crisis is coming, we still are very grateful for having one more day of life to contemplate this beauty, to see the sky, to see the eyes of our people, to connect, to experience life, to be alive. Thank you. So much gratitude. Even though things are very difficult, we still have the capacity to feel gratitude. We still have the capacity to feel, wow, to grasp the wonders, the miracles of existence, the beauty, the magnificence of existence. And we still have the capacity to give love, to serve, to heal, and to heal others. And also we still have the capacity to rest in an emptiness, to rest, feeling that we're much more than ourselves, that we are much more than humans, that we are part of a bigger existence, of a bigger universal existence. And that bigger universal existence is not in danger. The universe is not in danger. We are child of the universe. Consciousness is child of the universe. Life is child of the universe. The universe is not in danger. Universe have many children, will have many children. No big danger. We can rest in the peace of knowing that we are just a small part of something much bigger. And this, my friends, is my last message for today. Remember these 4 words, they are present in our breath. Gratitude, when we inhale, we're drinking from life, we're taking the oxygen, gratitude. Inhale. Then when you have the breath in, you have power, you have capacity, you have, wow, you feel everything. When you exhale, you're giving in love, healing, serving, giving in love. And when you're empty, before inhaling again, that space, maybe 2 seconds, feel that space after exhaling, maybe 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. It's empty, there's nothing there. You can rest because you're something bigger than you think. So I leave it like there, and maybe we have just a few more minutes to close, wrap it up, hear from all of you again. And for those of you who can join us in the in-person gatherings, you're very welcome. So I give it up back to Luvian and Kim. I don't know who wants to guide us in the closing.
Thank you so much, Arjun, and thank you everyone for your presence. Let's take a deep breath together. This deep breath is also the gratitude sending to Arjun for leading us in this wonderful session. And I invite you to put in the chat one word that stay with you right now. Could be a few words if it needs to be, could be just one word. What is alive in you right now? And while doing that, keep breathing. Oh, sorry for the dogs. There's gratitude, there's hope, calmness, spirit.
And I just jump in to ask you if any of you remember to bring a glass of water. Drink this water now. And usually my experience is that the flavor of the water changes after making prayer or making ceremony. I'm experiencing right now, my water is very sweet. So cheers, good life.
Cheers to life. Yeah, and I really would like to invite everyone, even though our session is really short, but I hope that you can find some time to hold space for yourself after the Zoom room is closed. Just be with what's alive in you. Because as Arjun said, alchemy takes time, takes space, and you're the one who can hold the space and condition for the composting process, for the alchemy process to happen. And yeah, we hope to see you sometimes in person events, because Arjun's gonna do an Asia tour through a few countries in our region this year. Maybe next year you can do other countries as well that are not on the list. So Luvian and I will also be there in some of them, especially in the last one in Thailand. And each activities in each countries are gonna be a little bit different depending on what's alive, the condition, the fertile soil in each place. We are gonna keep you posted on that. So I'm gonna put a bit of information in the chat that you can see as well. There's gonna be India, Vietnam, Indonesia, and ends with a camp in Thailand this year. And we especially would hope to see you in Thailand. Is that the ending camp where we would have a more international groups together. And please feel free to get in touch if you are aspire to share something or you want to know more, you want more information, resources. And with that, I would love to close our circle today. Thank you so much, Arjun, again. Thank you, Luvian, and thank you, everyone, just for holding the space for this to happen.
Thank you, thank you. Nice to meet you through the screen. I hope to give you a hug one day.
Yes. Likewise. Thank you, everyone. Feel free to unmute yourself and say goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. See you all.
Thank you.
Hope to see you in person